Good, happy Thursday morning, September 6th, 2018. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, Democrats vying for first CD seat square off in debate. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Town Square Energy is proud to support our jam Riverside Saturday, September 8th. An explosion of creativity with ticket proceeds benefiting Hope for New Hampshire recovery and families in transition. Enroll in any plan with Town Square by September 8th and get 2 free tickets. Go to StopYourShock.com. Use promo code Riverside2018.
All 11 Democrats on stage asked if they consider themselves progressive.
Ms. Sullivan.
Progressive.
Mr. Root.
FDR liberal.
Progressive.
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 All right.
They moved quickly through questions like how to address gun safety laws.
And I believe that veterans in Congress are going to lead on this because we have an unassailable credibility when it comes to guns. And we can say on the House floor, we used these in Iraq, people used them in Afghanistan, they don't belong in Manchester, they don't belong in Hampton, they don't belong anywhere in this country.
Universal health care.
When my wife got sick, I fought insurance companies while she fought for her life. And nobody should have to go through that. How do we afford to live in a country where we don't have Medicare for all?
From troops in Afghanistan.
I think we got to bring people home. I was the first candidate to say that, to bring the troops home from Afghanistan.
We've been constantly at war since World War II, yet we haven't had a declaration of war since World War II. It is time to end these endless undeclared wars.
To negotiating with North Korea.
I would not want to declare a war without an act of overt and genuine aggression. I don't think we should call for blood without seeing blood first.
The Democrats were asked for their approach to the opioid crisis.
1 out of 2 folks right now in New Hampshire are affected by the opiate addiction, and that we need to do everything possible in terms of pouring in money, resources, taking on the pharmaceutical company.
Find funding for treatment, prevention, and recovery, and I will be a champion for that in Washington. We know that there's not a one-size-fits-all approach. We know that we need an all-hands-on-deck solution.
If we can't work across the aisle on something that Trump himself says is a national emergency to find funding to correct this problem, there's not going to be much we can work across the aisle on. But instead, we're trying to worry about protecting profits instead of the people of this country.
Whether they would try to impeach the president.
I don't think there's any question about sufficient evidence to impeach Donald Trump, and he is a threat to America and our democracy.
I would support impeachment if all the data that we see comes in. I'm a scientist. I like to see the data before I make a decision, but I'm very concerned about what has been happening.
All 11 agreed they want to be part of a new wave of leadership in Congress.
I'm proud to be part of a new generation of leaders stepping forward across this country to take back control from the Republicans.
And Adam, with so many Democrats in this debate and a limited time to go around, it really is a good time for voters to study more in depth before primary day next week. Live outside the New Hampshire Institute of Politics, I'm Jean Mackin. Now back inside to you, Adam.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Coast Guard continues search for missing diver off Rockport. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
The Coast Guard searched by air and by boat, desperately trying to find a scuba diver who never surfaced.
And he said, "We can't find our friend." We were diving with him right off rocks, and he was supposed to meet us, and couldn't find him.
This neighbor called police, prompting a massive effort to find the diver near Cathedral Ledge, their boat still anchored in the water.
There were 2 of them, him and his friend, and they were supposed to meet after diving, and one didn't come up.
The boat was anchored 200 yards offshore. They met all the local requirements. They had 2 divers. They had the dive flag. They had the raft.
Investigators say the missing diver is in his mid-40s, visiting with a friend from out of town. Another man saw that friend sitting alone on the boat this afternoon.
They had the diver flag up and he was sitting on the Zodiac, but I mean, he didn't have any equipment on or anything. He was just kind of sitting on the Zodiac, just chilling.
Police say the missing diver is experienced, but may not have known just how dangerous this area can be.
It's very rocky here on the coast, and the water moves really fast. It's a shame, you know what I mean? It's dangerous diving, you know what I mean? You gotta be really careful.
So again, they called off the search around 9 o'clock tonight, and they're expecting to pick it up again early tomorrow morning.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Court documents reveal new details about brutal killing of dog found on beach. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
Documents included.
Barkeep, Bud Lights for everyone.
Actually, I prefer an iced mead.
Barkeep, Bud Lights for everyone and a mead.
Is it autumnal?
Bud Lights for everyone and one autumnal mead.
Is it malty and full-bodied? Because I like malt.
Cancel that mead.
Bud Light, for the many, not the few.
Statements from the dog's owner that he had contact with at least one of those suspects more than a week before the pair turned themselves in yesterday. It came just days after Frankie the Pug was found washed up on a private beach, having been beaten, shot, and wrapped in a garbage bag, according to police. In the affidavit, police detail how a friend who was supposed to look after the dog while the owners were away came to find the dog missing and the owner's car damaged. The owner, Philip Torrey, told police that Nathan Burke texted him confirming that he'd been with Justin Chipman that night, explaining the damage and the dog's disappearance, the affidavit reading, quote, "In the text, Nathan admitted to being smashed and going in the residence and hanging out, taking Frankie for a ride because Frankie was being mean to another dog." It goes on to say Nathan told Mr. Torrey that Frankie ran off there. It also explains how police found a bullet cartridge and dog hair on the hood of that car, which led police to believe that the suspects used the headlights to illuminate the area before shooting the dog. Both were issued $1,000 cash bail during their appearance today. In studio, Joe Glauber, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And a look at your European market. European markets trade lower aimed emerging market sell-off. Stocks in Europe traded slightly lower on Thursday aimed ongoing concerns over emerging markets and potential new U.S. tariffs on China. And here is a look at what the European market looks like right now, as you can all see. Kim Jong-un says he still trusts Donald Trump and never made negative comment. North Korea leader Kim Jong-un trusts in U.S. President Donald Trump remains unchanged, according to South Korea's special envoy who met with Kim in Pyongyang on Wednesday. Man rams truck into Fox affiliate. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
practically anyone at any bank? Yes, but this isn't just for anyone. Chase, make more of what's yours.
When he did come out of his vehicle after ramming the building, he pulled a bag out of his vehicle. So we had our EOD, our bomb unit, come out here just as a precaution to check that, make sure that it wasn't anything dangerous. The bag was cleared. His vehicle was subsequently cleared, and officers are checking around the area, around the building, just to make sure that there's no other secondary devices or anything suspicious.
What, if anything, can you say about what this man was trying to accomplish?
That's what we're still trying to determine. I mean, when he came in contact with the officers just said that he was rambling and just saying all kinds of nonsense. So it appears he was in some sort of agitated mental state. So not really sure exactly what the issue is and why he was doing that today.
Around 6 o'clock in the morning, a man in the pickup truck rammed the Fox 4 studios multiple times, rammed it, backed up, rammed into it multiple times, according to police. And that when officers got there, he was out of the truck, he was rambling. They said he was making some incoherent statements, things that did not make sense. He had a bag. He pulled a bag out of the truck with him. That is why the bomb squad is here on the scene. They wanted to investigate that bag, make sure that there wasn't any kind of explosives in it. The FBI, we know, is also involved. As for those papers that we've seen lying out in the street, we asked police what they said, if that might indicate his motivation in all of this. They said they're not sure what the contents of those papers are, although from the look, it looks like there's a whole bunch of them. There was a lot of papers, a lot of boxes, so we'll wait and see if those provide any kind of answers as far as what his motivation was with this strike on Fox 4, if there were other outlets potentially he may have been targeting. The good news is, right now, nobody hurt in this incident. No Fox 4 employees are hurt. They are waiting to get all these streets opened up. They're hoping they can do that in a short amount of time to get things back open and running here in downtown Dallas.
Okay, and there you go on that video. Again, man arrested after ramming truck into Fox affiliate in Dallas. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.